So SAP stands for, so you might be aware or you might not, but it stands for Systems, Applications and Products in Data Processing. So it is not just the words systems, applications and products. It is a continuous sentence sort of thing. Systems, applications and products in data processing. Okay, as there is an acronym, proper acronym for it, never call it SAP now onwards. So people who are outside SAP are not from SAP background, people tend to call it SAP, but it is not.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, not allowed to call SAP because it has an acronym for it, proper definition. And SAP will fall under a category called ERP. Now, what exactly is ERP mean? So in a software industry, you have different types of softwares like programming languages, databases, data warehousing tools, something else. So there are some names given to them. So SAP is not a operating system. SAP is not a database. SAP is not a data warehousing tool. Then what is SAP? SAP is a ERP software. So ERP means Enterprise Resource Planning. There are also many softwares available under ERP, like Oracle apps. You might have heard of Oracle apps, PeopleSoft,
Yeah.
Siebel CRM, JD Edwards, Microsoft Dynamics. So there are ERPs, so many ERPs available in the market. But it is like SAP is outstanding in the ERP market. Why SAP is outstanding in the ERP market, we need to know. And add to the point or to the fact, it is outstanding in the ERP market. If you see the records or the facts, SAP has already occupied 70% of the ERP market.
Right.
Okay, so what is the reason SAP is occupying already 70% of the ERP market? So the first reason is, now you said a very big organization like Coke. Okay, in a Coke, can you tell me how many departments will be there?
Well, there are like so many departments, like for example, HR, CRM, and then PP, MD.
Exactly.
Um,
So
so
let us
many like
take some minimum 10 departments are there.
right.
Okay, so when there are so many 10 departments, can you use a single software to manage all of them?
Well, with SAP, yes, but that if you see look at in a different way, then yeah, it's very hard to manage all these
Uh, ex-
departments all together, right?
exactly. If you forget about SAP for a few minutes, there is no such software in the world which can accommodate or which can give solution to all the departments in a business.
Exactly.
So you take Oracle apps, it is very famous for finance domain. You take PeopleSoft, very famous for HR domain. But SAP is not that case. SAP can provide solution to any department in your business, to any domain in your business. So that
Right.
is one advantage why people are preferring SAP. And second advantage is SAP is compatible with any OS and any database.
Mm.
So SAP software cannot run independently. So all ERPs cannot run independently. They need definitely a OS and they need a database. So
Okay.
when you are using SAP, it is compatible with all the OS like Windows, Linux, Unix, Solaris, etc. And it is also compatible with all the databases like Oracle, DB2, SQL, Sybase, etc. Now take the example of Oracle Apps. Oracle Apps also is an ERP which is compatible with only with Oracle database.
Oh, okay.
So there is a disadvantage that could be a disadvantage or advantage, you can say. If company or business is on DB2 database, then there is no chance of using the Oracle apps. But SAP can be
Right.
used because SAP is compatible with the DB2 also.
Yeah.
Okay, so because of these two reasons, SAP has occupied the 70% of the ERP market in spite of its cost. In spite of its cost. So why I'm saying in spite of the cost? SAP is very costly software when compared to any other software in the world.
Yep, it's true.
And that is the reason you find SAP in the large companies only, in a very huge companies, not in the small companies. Have you observed that?
Oh yes, companies who have a like turnover of over three,
Yes,
$400 million, they can only afford this.
afford for SAP, right? And so to come out of this situation, SAP is trying a lot, like to reduce the cost. They are trying a lot. So these are the new ventures. At the bottom you can see HANA, and then
Yes.
SAP Cloud and SAP mobile app. So these are the very new ventures. Our R&D is going on lot of things. HANA is already introduced. Is nothing but HANA is a SAP's own database.
Yes.
So far SAP is dependent on third-party database like Oracle DB to SQL.
Mm-hmm.
But now onwards, SAP has its own database called as HANA.
HANA. Mm-hmm.
So they need not go to Oracle to support
Mm-hmm.
SAP. Now they will use their own database HANA. So
Okay.
in the coming 20 by 2020, the
Yeah, that's what I want to tell you that because
yes,
by 2020 the contract gonna be expired and everybody has to migrate to HANA. Is that
yes,
correct?
yes, exactly. The contract between SAP and Oracle is going to expire, and already SAP has communicated to all its clients. See, if you are already using SAP, please turn today into HANA by 2020, end of the 2020.
Yep.
So you can see by
Putting on.
2020, Oracle usage is going to be drastically reduced.
Right.
So that is one thing. And what is a cloud concept? Do you have any idea on cloud concept? SAP cloud.
Yeah, actually, cloud. I mean, I have a everybody saying cloud, cloud.
Yeah.
Everybody's flying in the cloud, but nobody knows what the hell it is.
Yeah.
But what my understanding is like most of the organization they try to reduce their cost and keeping the data warehouses in the cloud, so it can be accessed by anywhere from the world.
Hmm.
So, initially there was a security concern around the cloud
Hmm.
system, databases,
Hmm.
but nowadays I think they made it very secure and government client and all these big financial institutions are moving towards the cloud. So
Yeah.
future is cloud, I guess. So yeah, it is pretty good technology, and I
Right.
kind of like it. I want to learn it too.
So SAP has already started its own cloud already. So where small
Awesome.
clients are going into this cloud concept to cut down their cost drastically. So no need
Hmm.
to have a separate server maintenance, no need to buy servers, no need to install the software into it. You don't need an office at all basically.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
So if you see what exactly the idea of cloud is, you install or you put your software, you put your business into the SAP's cloud, where SAP is
Hmm.
responsible for server maintenance and software maintenance, etc. And you need
Hmm.
actual users who uses SAP,
Yeah.
and that users can connect remotely, as you said, from their house, from their
Yeah.
laptops, from their mobiles, anywhere you can connect.
Right.
So
Right.
you don't need a dedicated office where you come to daily to office, you sit there, you work, etc.
Yep.
So that is how the cost drastically decreases. So now
Hmm.
smaller clients are more attracted towards SAP cloud,
Yep.
and bigger clients are still in skeptical about, doubtful about the credibility of this cloud, as you told, the security
Yeah.
measures.
Yep.
So now big companies like BMW, like Bank of America,
Hmm.
Bench, they are still having their own setup of server maintenance and everything. So they are not still moving. So it takes time. Maybe next coming 3 4 years or 5 years, they have to move to cloud concept one day.
So Sridhar, let me pause you there for a second.
Yeah,
So SAP is like moving toward the cloud. So they are providing like a space for companies who wanna put their server on SAP cloud, like Amazon, what Amazon does. Is
exactly,
that the same
exactly.
thing?
So
Okay.
currently you might have heard of Amazon and Google servers spaces
Yeah.
available.
Hmm.
So similarly, we have SAP's own cloud concept is available.
Okay, got you.
Okay.
Hmm.
So clear so far?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Right. Now, these are the various jobs we have available. SAP offers you various jobs. Like I can
Hmm.
categorize them into three categories. Like you have administration job, technical job, functional jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So we fall under administration category. Security, GRC, and basis also falls under administration category. What
Right.
exactly fall under technical? So you might have heard of ABAP team, ABAP programming.
Yes.
So in SAP, ABAP is the only programming language. ABAP has been the building block of SAP. So entire SAP software is written in ABAP language.
Right.
So what is the duty of a technical guy? So what does it admin? What is the duty of an admin guy? Say suppose some company decided to go for SAP.
Mm-hmm.
So first team that gets in contact with the client is basis team. What do they discuss? They discuss what is the user base, how many users are there in your organization, what are their roles and responsibilities, how many departments are there, and then they propose what all SAP modules should be used. So like SAP Finance, SAP HR, SAP Sales, etc., etc. They propose the client, and once the client gives approval, they start installing. First, gather the hardware required
Mm-hmm.
hardware, and then start installation into it. So this is the job done by the basis team.
Okay.
Once basis team does the activity, security team comes into picture. So
Mm-hmm.
we go into system and we create users, required users. For how many users are there? Let us say 1,000 users are there in the organization.
Okay.
So we create each and every user ID and also provide authorizations to the user ID. Like example, finance guy does the finance duties. HR guy does the HR duties.
Okay.
So it is not, the duties are not matching actually, not overlapping also. The duties should be
Mm-hmm.
separated clearly. If you don't separate the duties, there will be a problem again.
I see.
I'm talking about the authorizations, what you provide to user.
Okay.
So this is our duty, creating users, providing authorizations, and ensuring that the duties are not overlapping. Every user has its own authorizations, dedicated authorizations. So that is your responsibility from security side.
Okay. So is it like similar to like using CRUD metrics, which is like create, I mean, like assigning user roles and responsibility, who can do what, who can have a read access, read only access, who can create, who can
Exactly.
delete.
Exactly. So you should, within a team again, you will have like a read access, a maintain access, delete access, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for that purpose, we take the requirement from the required teams.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk to the finance, for example. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
finance comes and says there are different types of users within finance. Like
Okay.
there can be a clerk, there can be a supervisor, there can be a manager.
Right.
So clerk will have different access, manager will have different access.
Okay.
And within clerks also, there are senior clerks and junior clerks.
Mm-hmm.
Senior clerk should have full access, whereas junior clerk should have only display access to some activities. So
Okay.
this requirement is gathered from each functional team.
Okay.
So that is what we do, gather from each functional team, and according to the requirement of each functional team, we create the users and provide authorizations to them.
Okay. So one more thing. We are not concentrating on only one particular department, right?
Yes, yes,
So we are looking
everything,
at
every department.
like overall umbrella
Yes,
and
exactly, exactly.
organization. Okay.
The
Okay.
first two teams I told you, basis, security,
Mm-hmm.
and even ABAP.
Okay.
So we'll be covering all the departments in your organization. They are like umbrella covering all the departments.
Okay.
You will not have separate installation, separate basis team for finance and separate for HR. Only basis team will be one. They install HR system, they install finance system. They take care of the
Mm-hmm.
monitoring, performance, patches, upgrades, everything.
Okay.
Similarly, security also takes care of every user and other details in the each system.
Okay.
And the functional, as I told you, it is related to like departments now: finance, sales, marketing, logistics, production. So we'll be designing securities, I said, authorizations. ABAP team will be doing the customization. What do you mean by customization?
I mean, based on the user requirement, we can customize the like
Exactly.
layout. Right?
SAP gives you the standard layout of your screens, software, etc. That may
Right.
be not useful to you, your company. So they have to customize some of the screens, right? So that customization is done by the ABAP team.
A web team.
So
So
for
they are basically with the code, writing the code and all. I mean, like
okay, I'll
they are
give
kind of a developer, right?
like example. Like you bought a flat in apartment.
Mm-hmm.
There will be same structure for all the apartments, like the placing of bedrooms, halls,
Mm-hmm.
what you say, the walls, the basic structure will be same for every apartment.
Right.
But when you go inside and check each flat, it looks very different for every apartment. Why?
Which is the interior decoration.
Exactly. Exactly. The
How is it?
the almaras, the interiors, the paints, the colors, you choose according to your wish.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
SAP provides you the basic structure like a flat, and then the
Mhm.
interior top of thing is provided by the ABAP team.
Okay.
Okay, that varies from company to company.
I see.
Right. So SAP Security, these are the duties what we will be doing. The daily activities like user administration, which I discussed already, authorizations and permissions, troubleshooting authorization issues. So troubleshooting means investigations. So basically there are two types of projects, implementation and projects and support projects.
Mm-hmm.
So are you aware of the difference between implementation and support?
Yeah, implementation is like a brand new implementation of a new software or a solution,
Right.
and support is like after post implementation when they require user requires support.
Hmm.
So we give them support, after installation, post installation.
Correct. So in implementation, it is a short-term duration generally. Whenever a client decided to go for SAP, we take the requirement, we start installing SAP, we provide some solution for them, and they start using SAP. The day they start using SAP, from that day onwards the support starts, and the support is like never ending. So I was discussing about troubleshooting. So in a support project, in a day-to-day usage of the software, people may face some problems.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what support is. In support, it will be like a repeat work. The work will
Mm-hmm.
be repeated, issues will be repeated. So if you work for 6 months in a project, in a support project, so that continues forever. Only
Mm-hmm.
80% of the work will be same. Only 20% of the work will be new work what you get.
Right.
But whereas in implementation, it is always a completely new work because you will have to work with different clients. Every client business is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Suppose you worked for some BMW earlier, now you are working for Bank of America. BMW is a automobile industry, bank is a banking firm. The requirement
Financially.
changes totally, correct?
Right.
So there the implementation task will be tougher task because the more number of diverse clients you work, you will get a
Mm-hmm.
more diverse knowledge in implementation.
Okay.
And if you have functional knowledge as well, that will add your weight in your system. So like for example, you have a very long experience in the automobile industry, domain industry talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, you said now you are a business analyst,
Mm-hmm.
or in real time if you are some automobile expert, you have been working in automobile industry for past 5 years, and now you have been joined as SAP consultant in the automobile. You are well aware of the terminology what they use in automobile already.
Oh yeah, because the domain is same, right?
Yeah,
So
domain
yeah.
is same. So you can work a lot, or you will the gathering of requirement will be easier for you when compared to a consultant who do not have the domain experience.
Mm-hmm.
So domain experience will be always favorable for you if you have any specific domains knowledge earlier before you actually when you go into SAP projects.
Right.
And these are the daily activities which we discuss in from security side, and these are
Mm-hmm.
rare activities I'm talking about.
Okay.
So like implementation tasks, I said one-time activity you don't do regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And security role design, this is also one-time activity. Role design, as I told you initially, we gather the requirement from each team, like finance team, HR team, what are the roles, what are the authorizations they require, and we start creating something called as a role. So role is a
Mm-hmm.
group of authorizations. So there will be different roles for each team and domain. So we'll be assigning these roles to them. And this is also a one-time activity.
Oh, okay. So, Sridhar, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Who does the requirement session, like SAP consultants? They take the requirement, or they are just a part of the team along with the business analyst and PMs and all?
No, no, we will
Take
take the requirement. Security will take the requirement.
security will take the requirement. Okay.
Maybe the senior most resource in your team, your TL or manager will talk to the functional teams.
Okay.
That Excel sheet is prepared, and if you are a junior resource in the team, that Excel sheet is given to you.
I see.
If you are already in the expert in that area, you yourself has to go and gather the requirement from the functional teams.
Okay.
Like it is a very critical job actually. You will be in contact with every person in the organization.
Yeah, I mean, definitely because we have to contact these people and then take the requirement and then get the sign off
Yeah.
and finalize.
So
So that's a
basis team, ABAP team, security team, like it is like a umbrella as I told you to as you said. So they have to
mm,
be in contact with each and every user in every other department. But if you take the task of functional team, finance guy comes to office, he does his work and he leaves the organization.
mm-hmm.
He has no contact with other teams like sales. He does not have any contact with HR. So, but these admin teams are like very crucial teams. Admin technical teams are crucial teams. They involve with
Okay.
each and every other team.
Okay.
And you have some configurations and post installation steps. After a basis has given handed over to you, the system which is
Mm-hmm.
installed. So there are some configuration and post installation steps what we have to perform. So that depends on the topic wise, like which topics we are going to deal with. So I'll send you the syllabus today. I think yesterday
Okay.
I have sent the syllabus to Varun already.
Yeah, I think I got. He forwarded me that
Okay,
syllabus.
okay.
Yeah,
So
I
that you
have it.
can go through that syllabus once.
Okay.
What are the ones we are covering?
Mm-hmm.
And coming to the duration wise, for security
Mm-hmm.
we will be taking around 20 to 25 hours.
Okay. That's
Okay.
feasible.
And there are different categories of soft securities as well again.
Okay.
The one which we discussed so far is a very basic part.
Okay.
So these are the other some important categories, other available specializations. Like in within SAP you have different modules like HR, CRM, BW, and this is R3. R3 stands for real-time three-tier architecture, and hence it has been named as R3 security. So the one which I discussed, like creating users, creating authorizations, troubleshooting, fall under R3 security. That is the basic
Okay.
security,
Here.
day-to-day
TPR.
activities. And the remaining things will depend on the user in the client requirement. If they have HR, there may be HR security requirement, but every client
Mm-hmm.
does not have HR. Every client does not have CRM. Okay.
Right.
So depending on the client requirement, the security has to be implemented in their landscape and in their client. So I'll give you just overview of this. BW system in SAP is used for reporting purposes. Like
Okay.
it acts as a data warehousing tool.
Oh, I see. Business intelligence, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Business intelligence acts as a data warehousing tool, execute reports to pull the reports out of system. So we
Mm-hmm.
provide access to those reports. Who can see the reports? Who can execute the reports? Who can write the reports? We decide.
Oh, okay.
So authorizations will decide who can execute, who can write a report, who can see the report.
Okay.
And coming
But
to
we don't. we don't create the report, right?
We
Just
don't
the
create
BIB
report. Yes,
person tell that.
yes, yes.
Okay.
BI team creates the reports,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll take the requirement in a team who should be able to execute it, who should only just see it, who should be able to edit it.
Right.
And coming to HR security, HR system is used for maintaining the HR data, like employees data, organization data. When you are maintaining employee data, there will be two types of categories, like public data and confidential data.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take an example of payroll,
Mm-hmm.
payroll is a confidential data, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we should not provide access to any other user in the organization to see your payroll.
Right.
But the user himself should have access to see his own payroll.
Mm-hmm.
So this access we provide. We do these restrictions in the HR system. What a
Okay.
user has to see for himself and what others should not see of others' data, of other employees.
Okay.
And if you come to the manager, HR manager or your reporting manager, your HR,
Mm-hmm.
your HR representative should see your payroll.
Mm-hmm.
The manager should see something else, like your performance appraisal cycles.
Mm-hmm.
So like this, which data has to be viewed by which person, that is decided by security in HR security.
Security. Got you.
And coming to CRM security, CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. So wherever there is a huge customer base, like clients like service-based clients and product-based clients, there are huge customer base for them. They maintain the customer base. And they have
Yeah,
also
service.
have to deal the customer complaints actually, right?
Mm-hmm. Service requests and all.
Customer
Okay.
satisfaction is very important.
Mm-hmm.
So these department will take care of the customer satisfaction. So they receive complaints from the users, and that has been allocated a time. SLA will be given for that issue, and that will be resolved. That issue will be resolved within time.
Right. Based on the priority
Priority.
given.
If it is not resolved, then they'll give you some replacement, something. So some policies will be there, correct?
Yeah,
So
SLAs and all.
yeah, this SLAs, the
Mm-hmm.
what a hierarchy levels you have within escalations. Customer relationship department has escalation manager levels. We have level 1, level 2,
Mm-hmm.
3. So that differentiation of the levels we define them in CRM.
Okay.
And the last one, which is EP, Enterprise Portal Security. Enterprise
Mm-hmm.
portal is nothing but it doesn't look like SAP screen. It looks more like a website, like a Java screen.
Oh, okay.
Because SAP EP is built in Java, not on a web.
Mm-hmm.
So why SAP has gone to Java again back? So in 2004 they started this. In 2004 they started this component called EP, Enterprise Portal.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason is uh, SAP's ABAP screen is not user friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Users felt difficulty in operating with SAP screen. So they decided, let us have a screen which is more already seen screen or already habituated screen. So that is more screens is websites technology, right? Java.
Mm-hmm.
So they have taken Java into consideration. With the Java language, they built this EP system. So when you log in into EP, you just feel like a normal. You are logging into some website like Facebook or Gmail.
Okay. So it's kind of a company's website, kind of a SharePoint where you can access like
Exactly,
company's information.
exactly. So every company has its own website, right?
Okay. Yes.
So
Yes.
that
Yes.
website look and feel get is like a EP. It is nothing
So
but
that's
EP.
kind of it has like all the dynamic content in it, right?
Yes, exactly. Dynamic content. And what we exactly do here in EP is, so
Mm-hmm.
we make the tabs visible, invisible,
Mm-hmm.
enable, disable,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and then there are some folders inside the website or some link. That folder
Mm-hmm.
permissions are defined by us, like whether in the folder he can create some data or only
Mm-hmm.
he can view the data in the folder. So that folder permissions will define.
Okay. Is it also like kind of what folder public has
Yes,
access to, or what
yes, yes,
folder?
exactly.
Um,
What
okay,
folder entire public should have access to, and what folder only some people, specified number of people should have access to.
got it. Yep, makes sense.
Right. So this is all like a requirement. So this is a additional requirement you get. So the basic part is the first one, R3 security.
Mm-hmm.
So on this only every other security will build on.
Functional base. Okay.
Okay. So we are going to discuss R3 security in very detail part, and then I'll give you overview of the remaining part, some overviews, how that is, what is the concept is all about.
Okay.
But again, if you want these as well in detail, it will take one more month, extra month to discuss all these four components.
Oh, okay.
So BW security will take 1 week, HR will take 1 week, CRM will take 4 days, EP will take 2 to 3 days. So that will be around 1 month again.
Actually, you know what? That's the trickiest part because I'm not sure which field I'm gonna go
Hmm.
and which field I should apply for jobs and all.
Right.
So I mean, it always looks good on your resume if you have like a specialty in one particular domain, like it could be HR,
Yes.
CRM.
Yes. Okay.
So which one you recommend is in hot in market right now? Like
So
just curious.
generally, BI system is almost mandatory for every client because data warehousing concept should be there in your organization.
Oh, reporting system and all.
Reporting.
Okay.
So that has become mandatory, just like normal system. They also go with BI. And as I told
Mm-hmm.
you, sometimes EP they are using for end user comfortability, usability.
Okay.
So
Okay.
BW is the most required one after R3 security.
So learning BIBW is gonna be another 1 month. That's what you said.
No, no, no. It is 1 week. Total, I'm saying. All the remaining components,
Oh,
specializations you need, 1 month you need again extra.
okay. So will that be covered in the our curriculum, or it could be extra, or like how?
Yeah, we are not
Will it,
covering as of now. So it is only based on the requirement because I cannot go to you directly to BI because unless and until you have proper experience in R3, we cannot go to
mm-hmm.
these specializations.
Okay. So that's something we should take care of after our
Yeah.
training.
First you complete
Uh,
your training, have proper
uh,
experience, gain knowledge, and then
mhm.
if you need, you can come back to me. I'll explain in detail.
Okay. Sounds fair.
Right. So this is about the SAP security and the GRC. There is, I did not put any slide regarding GRC here.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a different concept together. Different concept in the sense it is more looks like security,
Mm-hmm.
but okay, let me show you the slide once. So it is a GRC tool. It has different components. You can say automation part. So for
Okay.
example, you create a user manually. I'll give a small example what it talks about.
Mm.
Say for example, uh, passport. Have you applied for a passport?
Yes, I did.
Okay. When did you apply? Year? Which year?
2005.
And what is the process you followed?
Basically, first of all, I went to the government website, took their requirement, what are the documentation are required.
Right.
I've collected the those and then went to the office, paid the fees, and got the checks and all the extended procedure I followed.
Okay. Now what is the process? Is there any difference in the process today?
I'm sure it should be different now. It's been a long time since. I think my passport will be expired already.
Okay.
So yeah, it should be different now.
So what I remember is I went to the passport office. I have filled the form manually
Hmm.
and I stood in the queue
Hmm.
for 4 to 5 hours.
Yep.
Then when I
Same.
put in front of the passport officer, he said some data is missing and rejected my form.
Uh,
That is
that's
what first
sad.
thing happened. So now that is not happening today because it is automated. The process is automated.
Okay.
So the good thing is what you do is you will look into the You will look into the passport website. You will see the requirement
Mm-hmm.
and then decide. You will submit all the document. You will upload all the documents into the website of passport office site.
Mm-hmm.
They will review that. If all the documents are correct, they will send you an invite. Please come.
Okay.
So that is what happening. So the lot of time is saving. Lot of process has been standard. What you say, organized better than earlier process, right?
Like manual in the past, now right now it's
Yeah.
automated.
Yeah. Manual task is automated. That's why the process has been improved. So
Makes
same
sense.
thing. This GRC tool will ensure that whatever the tasks you are doing in your system manually in SAP system,
Mm-hmm.
from security side I'm talking about, that can be automated. So by automation, what will happen is the things can be organized, transparency will increase, no
Mm-hmm.
no delays in the work, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
etc. Right?
That's, yeah, automation is always better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all
Very
about
powerful.
automation. So we'll discuss this later. So once we complete security, so as you are interested in GRC also, right?
Oh yes, definitely.
So GRC is more in demand than security actually, to say in fact.
Yeah, that's true actually. And
So
but the
because
reason is like I just want to know the basics.
yes, yes,
That's the
correct,
reason,
correct.
I
So you should be when a mission doesn't work, the manual labor has to come into
want.
picture.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what, if GRC is not working, you have to do your regular security manually.
Mm-hmm.
So to do that, you should know security. So learning only GRC will not help you.
Exactly.
If there is any problem from backend system also, you should be aware of it. Only security guys will be aware of the problems.
Okay, so Sridhar, one more thing. Do we have to have a knowledge of all these like Unix and
No,
database
nothing,
and all?
nothing.
Okay,
That is the advantage of security. You
understood.
don't
Okay.
work anywhere except in the SAP side. SAP, after logging into SAP, only an SAP application you work. No, nothing to do on the database side, nothing to do on the OS side.
Just a GUI. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So with
Yeah.
this, I will end my topic. So if you have any doubts, you can now start your queries.
I think you clear almost everything. I just want to make sure, like,